Almost had a double countdown. That was my bad. I had the countdown on a loop. That was my bad. But yeah, that was a little 30-second countdown as I was waiting to see who was going to join me tonight for episode 11 of a little show that I like to call Lyrics and Levels, where we discuss beats, music, lyrics, you know, artistry. And tonight, apologies, apparently. We'll be discussing that as well. So I was just giving people a little bit of time to come and join me so that we could have a discussion. You feel what I'm saying? What are we going to be talking about? Let's Yeah. So yeah. What's beef? We going to talk about it. But before we even get into that, you know what I'm saying? They don't call me you goddess the poet for nothing. And there's a story and a reason behind this one. This actually is not a spoken word piece per se. It is actually a verse that I was working on one time years ago. I was working on a verse. I try my best to keep you goddess and the person that I am at my 9 to 5 separate. You feel what I'm saying? I try not to make those two worlds commingle. Little bit of a Lois Lane vibe going on. There's me, the 9 to 5 me. You know what I'm saying? And then there's you goddess by night. You know what I'm saying? So I do have a comment here. I just want to acknowledge. Hey, what's good, man? How you doing? What's good with you? Good to see you. Good to see you, Emmanuel. I just saw you because we live together. But man, it's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Um, but yeah, I try to keep my you goddess artist persona, the rapper, separate from my 9 to 5 job and what I do for a living as much as possible. Every now and then, those two things do bleed into one another, and I guess that's okay too, as long as everybody can understand and respect and understand what's really going on with it, and don't ask too many questions. But there was this one time, and this is years ago. There was this one time I was working on a verse, and I just so happened to must have been in a rush to get out of there to get home, and I left it on my computer. And this was a part-time nights and weekends type gig that I was doing at the time, where we all sort of shared there were shared computers and shared desks and things of that nature, because when you leave, another person came in to relieve you and they sat at the same desk. So I was a dispatcher at the time. So this is years ago, and this is something that I was doing as a part-time nighttime gig. And I was working on a verse in my downtime or whatever, and I just so happened to leave it on the computer. And my coworker who relieved me after my shift was over read it and felt some type of way. So we'll get into that in a second. But this was the verse that I was working on. I never recorded this. It was never a part of a song or anything, but I was just playing around and using my downtime wisely. You feel me? But I said something like, I could be the first lady president. Isn't it evident? Impossible mission. I'm what y'all been missing. I'm the vision you listen to, the voice in your head when you vex, lying in bed, holding a pad and a pen. You scrambling for rhymes, but now you gambling against minds. What you staring for, now you wasting valuable time. What you preparing for, you daring for the wrong reasons. I got a strong feeling you gonna take a long weekend. Seek a style to promote. It's been a while since you wrote. Is it me why you choke or just the smoke in your throat? You can't approach this sarcastic rap-o-matic without some practice. I leave you broke without compassion, zoning the static. I let you have it while I'm drowning in bad habits. Like black magic, now your rap shatters like glass fragments. Okay, so that's the type of stuff that I was working on, right? And like I said, I left it on the computer screen. Total accident. Definitely didn't do it on purpose because I don't like mixing my day life with my night life. And my coworker read that, and the next time she saw me, she felt some type of way. Thank you, son. And the next time she saw me, she pulled me to the side and said, I saw the poem that you left on the computer screen for me. First of all, I was already kind of anxious about the fact that I left something like that on the computer because it's not professional and things of that nature. And yes, yes, I did. I made you a mod. So I need you to regulate all these thousands and thousands of people that are watching and that are in the chat. I'm gonna need you to regulate them, my guy. All right, you think you can handle that? And she felt some type of way when she read that. Me, I'm more worried about, damn, I don't want like my boss to see something like that or anybody to think that I was, fooling around when I should have been taking calls and dispatching, which is what I was hired to do. But as a writer, you can't never really stop writing, no matter what you're really supposed to be doing. Your mind is always working, right? So you got to write it down. You can put it in your phone or do anything of that nature to make sure that you don't lose those thoughts and those vibes. What's going on with you, Free Society? I got a really talented super producer out of Hartford, CT, in the building. Please check out his music. He has produced a plethora of songs for me. We could drop 2 albums right now in 2024 and still have more. He does have a YouTube page, so please go and check him out. Music Heads, that's my guy. Free Society. You could check him out. You could shop with him, work with him. You know what I'm saying? Hire him, but you cannot have him. He's my producer. You feel what I'm saying? You could borrow him though, because I'm sure if you check him out, you're gonna want to work with him immediately. But she felt some type of way. She took it personal. She thought I was writing it to her. And some of the words that's in there, I guess I said something like, um, you're daring for the wrong reason. I got a strong feeling you're gonna take a long weekend. She heard that, and I guess she was planning on taking some time off. So immediately applied that to herself. Um, and me saying things like, I don't know. I guess I said something like, I'm the vision you listen to. I'm the voice in your head when you vex lying in bed holding a pad and a pen. I don't know if she was at home struggling to put words together. I don't know. Maybe she was a writer and she was struggling with some writer's block, but she took all of that stuff as a personal shot at her, which sounds more like a her problem and not a me problem. You feel what I'm saying? I say all of this to say no apologies were given. You feel what I'm saying? Because I didn't mean it in no way towards her. And I was just being UGoddess. I was just writing a battle rap. And this girl then went and took it and it made her cry. And I was supposed to feel some type of way. I think I was just doing my job.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to like jab my nigga back and I try to keep it friendly. But at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace.
I can't relate. I can't relate. I guess so, Emmanuel. I guess so. And there's a saying, if the shoe fits, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, no apologies given over here. Um, it just makes me wonder, like, what's beef? You feel what I'm saying? Why are we apologizing if I'm writing a battle rap, if I'm writing a diss track and it disses the person, I think I should be patting myself on the back. It sound to me like I did a great job. If I got the whole nation going, ooh, I must have did a great job. How did all of this begin? J. Cole, how did we get here? How did we get here, J. Cole? Why are we crying on stage and apologizing for being great? Um, this is the art of rap beef. You feel what I'm saying? At one point he did say that, people wanted to take this a lot further. You understand what I'm saying? They wanted to go far with it. They want to see blood in the streets. And he was saying that they want to see blood. This was hardly bloody. This didn't even require a band-aid. It was just a very well, and I'm talking about 7 Minute Drill, by the way, y'all, off of J. Cole's new mixtape. It's called Might Delete Later. And apparently he meant that literally. He just might delete it later. But it is a mixtape dropped in 2024. Um, and there was a diss track on there called 7 Minute Drill. From what I understand, it was called 7 Minute Drill because sometimes when he's in the studio, he does these 7 minute like lyric exercises, which I think is great, totally relatable. I'm all into those verbal exercises, you know what I'm saying? Challenging yourself, maybe giving yourself to write a song in 7 minutes or giving yourself a challenge to write a verse in 7 minutes. So I love the aspect of the 7 minute drill. Let's see. Hi, landlord from Alabama. What is he saying? I don't like it, but this is a longtime friend of his, and he called it "might delete later." Yeah, that's what I was just saying. He said "might delete later." Obviously, he meant that in a more literal fashion. But I say all of that to say this: um, how did we get here in the first place? For two people that was friends, you know what I'm saying? They're friends, and why is J. Cole dissing him in the first place, knowing how powerful his pen is and knowing how masterful he is lyrically? He had to know that he was going to come hard with it, like, and he even sort of said that he tried to go a little easy on him. Like, you dissing him in your apology, my guy. You dissing him in the apology. um J. Cole is just okay to Free Society. I don't know what's all the hype about. Hey, Free, we some Hartford heads, we some New York CT East Coast heads, and it might have something to do with it. I don't know. We might have to figure out why certain things just don't move us the way they move the rest of the country. You know what I'm saying? But how did this happen? Okay, so first person shooter. Drake drops that in 2023 off the For All the Dogs album. First Person Shooter, by the way, was produced by Coleman Vinyls, Tay Keith, Boy Wonder, FNZ, and OZ. And it samples a song called Look Me in the Eyes that came out in 1975 by Joe Washington and Wash Soul Band. So go check out the original music that inspires these producers to make these beats, because then you will maybe get to understand these producers and these songs that come from them a little bit better. Again, 1975's Look Me in the Eyes by Joe Washington and Wash Soul Band. That is the sample that is used in First Person Shooter. J. Cole and Drake. In that song, J. Cole says something very witty and creative because he's a witty and creative type of dude. And he was just talking about how there's a debate about who's the best or who's the top three. And the names that's being circulated is him, Drake, and Kendrick Lamar. Him, Drake, and Kendrick Lamar is supposed to be allegedly the top three in rap. But then he goes on to say, but I kind of feel like I'm Muhammad Ali. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a backhanded compliment at the end of the day. In a way, you're saying these are the top three rappers, but I'm Muhammad Ali out of everybody. You know what I'm saying? So a little bit of a backhanded compliment. Kendrick then has a verse on Like That. Future and Metro Boomin put out an album this year called We Don't Trust You. It's produced by Metro Boomin. The name of the song, Like That, is produced by Metro Boomin. Pretty much the entire album is. And it samples, by the way, Easy E's intro to his song, Easy Does It. Now, Easy Does It is 1988, Easy E, NWA, Dr. Dre. This might be a little too far back for some people, but if you a real music head and you a real hip hop head, then you know a little bit about NWA and Easy E and all of that. that was going on in that era. But it samples Easy Does It. Just the intro, you'll hear Michelle. It's actually Michelle's voice. And if you don't know who Michelle is, then I don't know. I can't educate you on everything in this one little tiny video. But this song has been in my head like ever since I started preparing for the show. He was once a thug from around the way. You know what I'm saying? Okay, just put a pin in that. I'm going to read Landlord's comment. Cole verse in first person shooter was harder than Kendrick like that verse, but that's another story. Mm, that's why feelings get hurt. That's why feelings get hurt. So Kendrick Lamar says some weird shit in like that, where he's like, F the big three is just big me. Like, why? You feel what I'm saying? Why he felt, I don't know. I guess he don't want to be. I think being mentioned in the top 3, being mentioned in the top 10 hip hop category is one of those things, like, what's better than that? You feel what I'm saying? What's better than that? You being mentioned in the top 3, top 5, top 10. Yeah, you saying something. You did something for yourself. And I'm talking about this like universal top 10, this universal top 3 that everyone has, which usually includes names like Biggie, Tupac, and Jay-Z. Biggie, Nas, and Jay-Z. Nas, Tupac, and Biggie. Them the 3 that you really should be worrying about. But when you get mentioned top 3, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Drake, it's nothing wrong with being one of them 3 people. I wouldn't mind being one out of them 3 people. But Kendrick said F Big 3 is just big me. And then he went on to say something about how Prince outlived Mike Jack. um he said something like how he's really like that, and your best work is a light pack, and Prince outlived Mike Jack. So I guess he's comparing himself to Michael Jackson, and we all know that Michael Jackson is the GOAT. And there was a huge debate, and still is to this day, Prince versus Michael Jackson. It's an impossible debate. Nas versus Jay-Z is an impossible debate. But how do you even choose one over the other when it comes to Prince and Michael Jackson? So Kendrick, I don't know. I don't know where you was going with that. I get it. It wasn't good enough. Um, J. Cole dropped 7-minute drill. Guess what, y'all? The last half of 7-minute drill, produced by Canadian producer T minus, of course he's out of Canada, right? Also samples Easy E's Easy Does It. So, these producers is not stupid. You know what I'm saying? They're very intentional with what they're doing with these beats and the samples that they're using, and how they sort of all are connected with each other in this little beef that's going on right here. So you will also hear he was once a thug from around the way in the last half of 7-minute drill. You hear it there because it's sort of like a chopped and screwed version of Energy by Drake, which was on the 2015 If You're Reading This It's Too Late. So if you remember Energy, got an enemy, got a lot of enemies, where he was dressed up like Oprah. Yeah, that one. So they chopped and screwed Energy, and J. Cole raps over that, and he says certain things. Your first shit was classic, your last shit was tragic. Your second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. Ouch. In the second verse, he says, my text flooded with the hunger for a toxic reply. I'm hesitant. I love my brother, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm powered up for real. That shit like swatting a fly. Ouch. Ouch. Kendrick, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you should have did that. So J. Cole does that. He gets everybody in a frenzy. I don't know if anybody is really out there debating J. Cole versus Kendrick Lamar at this point. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's really debating that, but I guess they are because it's all over YouTube. And and then, this happens.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to jab my nigga back, and I try to keep it friendly, but at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace.
Somebody get J. Cole a couch to lay down on and a comfy pillow, please. He needs a friend. He needs to talk to somebody. Um, the diss track was effective. The bars, the wordplay, the punchlines, chef's kiss. It did what had to be done. Some people thought it was too much of a softball. Um, Obviously he didn't want to do it. That's why he compared himself to Nino Brown in New Jack City, where he's pointing the gun, "Am I my brother's keeper?" With the tear coming down his eye. He didn't want to have to murder his friend. But this is rap beef. This is beef in rap. This You're not in the streets shooting at each other. You're not paying somebody to run up in this nigga house. Um you're not running his pockets. You not Well, not literally. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it was as serious as J. Cole thinks it is. But if it's messing with his spirit and he don't want to go down that route after he already did it, now he want to say it's not the man that he wants to be when he looks at himself in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Then he shouldn't have did it in the first place because it's already done. You can't unring a bell. You can't unring the bell. I don't know one rapper, Free. You a producer. You make music for lots and lots and lots of rappers. You know anybody that's making any rap music where they don't want to say they the best? I'll wait. I'll wait. I mean, what rapper do you know that's not saying that they the best? Sometimes you get mad at your brother, y'all fight and it's over. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%, landlord from Alabama. I just want to know if, like, after you finish fighting with your brother, does it look like
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to like jab my nigga back.
I try to jab him back? Even that right there is a diss. That's a low key sneak diss. I try to jab him back like softly. Like, in other words, I didn't even go full strength in that song. I could have went a lot harder. Yeah, it's a sneak diss. Say it with your chest and mean what you say. This is the art of beef. If you ain't built for it, and we all know that he is, but if you ain't built for it, then don't mess with it. Just keep making your type of music, the type of music that does sit well with your spirit, and leave the beef to the battle rappers and the ones who can stand on what they say and say it with their chest and mean every word of it. We not trying to shoot each other. We not trying to kill each other. We don't want to see anybody lose their life. Definitely not. We supposed to be the best, free society says, and outdo each other. That's what makes it worth it. I don't know not one rapper that don't say that they the best in their rhymes. um yeah, like, well, yeah, if you the older brother and you, I mean, I got boys, so I could relate to that. Like, I'm sure a little piece of you feels bad, but I don't know. Older brothers, I don't think older brothers feel bad after they beat their little brother down. It's more like, man, you better take that. You better take that, and I'm setting you up for what's going on in the real world. I'm setting you up for life that's going on outside these doors. If I beat you down, I'm not apologizing after. Older brother says to little brother. What am I apologizing for? That's life lessons. You feel what I'm saying? Anyway, check out all the music that I've discussed in today's episode, if you so please. I'm sure you'll be entertained. And like I said, always check out and try to look for the samples that you hear within the music. And, you might learn something new, like I do all the time. I want to say big shout outs to Mr. Eric Wright because nobody does beef better. Nobody did beef better than NWA, Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, Death Row Records. I don't think anybody does beef better than them. They the ones who sort of set it off for a lot of us coming up in the 90s, or late 80s, early 90s. If you didn't know about that beef, you know what I'm saying? And then Easy E, of course, tragically passed away. So these are the sort of things that hip hop was made out of and raised from and grows from and thrives on is beef. And you got to be prepared to not only take it, but J. Cole, you got to be prepared to dish it out. I want to thank y'all for joining me on Lyrics and Levels. This is episode 11, y'all. I really do appreciate all the support. Please like the video. Please leave me comments. I would love to read what y'all thoughts are after the show. If you're watching this on the playback, let me know that you're here. Of course, my name is UGoddess the Poet. We're going to do this again real soon. Thank you for all the support. I really appreciate y'all.